I've only told this story 3 times in my life. And why? Because it was a bit embarrassing. I didn't want to admit that I was going through a weak time. Didn't want to admit that I was suffering. Didn't want to admit that I was going through depression. I didn't want to admit that I want to take my life. I didn't want to do that. So I'm in my early 20s, and I mean, life is just lifing. Life is really, really hard. I have a son. I have no career. I have no money. I have dreams. I have hopes. I have aspirations, but nothing is coming to pass. And at that point, early 20s, I'm still living with my mom. And I had moved out, came back, moved out, came back. Probably the story of some people in this world. So I'm at a point where I'm just done. I'm just over it. I just have, in my mind, I have nothing to live for. In my mind, I would be better off not being here. In my mind, it was just an escape from the reality of my life. All the pressure, and it's crazy, even in my early 20s, I'm thinking maybe 21, 22, I had so much pressure on me to be a man and perform like a man and to provide. And I still, even though that's okay, because that's what we do, but I didn't have an outlet. I didn't have anybody that I can talk to. No mentors. Dad wasn't there. Dad was gone. He was off doing his thing. So I didn't know that I had the right to speak and be vulnerable and to take this weight off of me. And it's just what I was taught, right? This is what I seen. And even though Dad wasn't there, I did have other examples of men around me, but not good examples of what a man should be. But it was all that I know, all that I saw. So the pressure was getting to me, and being that young, I didn't know how to release that pressure. I didn't know that the way I was carrying was a bit unusual. So one day, I'm sitting on my mom's couch. It's just me by myself. I remember she had this green couch mixed with other colors, but I remember it being green. It was a green love seat, and I'm sitting there. It's against the wall, and I can see the entry to a doorway. And I'm sitting there with a blanket. And at that time, I was working security, and I worked in armed security, so I was carrying a firearm. So I had a gun in my lap, and I'm trying to figure out ways to really just end it all, and trying to think about ways like, why should I not do this? And nothing logical came to mind. Nothing saying, no, don't do this. You shouldn't do this. This is not right. Everything I'm thinking was leaning toward me just taking my life. So I remember it was a black 45, mini 45, and it's in my lap. And at that point, I'm like, I have tears in my eyes, and I can't remember the last time I cried at that point, because I just don't remember crying before that. But I'm crying, and I'm like, this is just it. So again, no one really knows the story at all. So I pick up the gun, I put it to my head, and this is about to go down. So my mom and my sister, they have a massive love for cats, right? I grew up with cats, so cats were in the house. So I have this gun to my head, and I hear a noise in the garage. It's like a scramble in the garage. So have the gun here, put it down, turn, pop, and the gun fires into the floor. And to this day, I don't think my mom knows that I shot a hole in her floor, but I shot a hole in her floor, and that kind of woke me up, right? Because I was never really into cats, but I can say that noise in the garage with that cat did save my life, right? Because it distracted me, and I turned, and that That gun had a very, very, very heavy trigger, and it fired into the floor. So that woke me up, right? That woke me up, and something clicked, right? And I'm like, that could have been it. That could have been my life. I could have been done in my early 20s. So I'm like, well, and at that point, I wasn't saved yet. I wasn't in the church. I had an idea of who God was. I had visions, and people were telling me who God was, but never really knew who God was. Never really knew what God can do for me. But I'm thinking, well, you know what? If this just happened, and still not understanding what happened, if this happened, there must be something more for me. There must be something that God needs me to do and wants me to do. And even in that dark place, I made a decision. I made a decision that I'm not going to take my life. I'm not going to, take the easy way out, because I'm meant for something. Because if I wasn't, then that cat, which I never hear, would not have made that noise. I know that there's something that I have to do. And I just decided that I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight through the pain, the depression, the lack of value, lack of self-worth. I'm going to fight through that. And it was never easy after that. That moment didn't make it easier for me, but I knew that I had something to do. So that was a choice. And I think about that day often, because that was a day, if that happened, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. If that happened, then a lot of my children would not be here. And I look at them sometimes and I think that, wow, if I would have taken that step years ago, you would not be here. My grandkids would not be here. And I'm just really like in amazement that, I got to that point. But the reason I tell the story is this month is, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, November. And a lot of men go through that same thing. A lot of men have those same thoughts. A lot of men think about taking their lives. And unfortunately, a lot of men do. And every 2 minutes, a man takes his life. Every 2 minutes, a man decides to end it all. And that's something that we have to be consciously aware of, because the pressure to perform is a weight that most people can't carry or don't want to carry, and they find it hard to function. I was there. So if you are thinking about erasing yourself, don't do it. There is so much more that you have to do. There is so much more that God has for you. There are so many things that have not come to pass that need to come to pass because of your existence. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I know you have sad days. I know you have days of depression. I know you have days where you just don't think that you can make it through. I know you do. I've had those days. But the alternative is you not being here to fulfill everything that you want. Everybody will not understand you. Everybody will not honor your experience. Everybody will not honor your vulnerability. Everything that you've been through at some point will be used against you, but that's part of being a man. So when that happened to me, I decided that I had to, in a sense, love me first, be there for me first. Because if I didn't, and I was expecting someone else to, then that was the reason I was just done. I was just done. So after that experience, I hid for a while. Growing up, I always kind of hid because I had a speech impediment, so I kind of hid. But I kind of hid for a while because I was a bit confused. But I came out, right? I came out. I'm here. I'm here to talk to you. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to inspire you. I'm here to love you. So I know the weight you're carrying. I know the pain. I know your heart. Um, and the best thing I can do for you and say to you is that I came through it. The storm does not last forever. The pain does not last forever. It does not. If you get up and walk and keep going, you will find peace. It's a struggle. It's hard, but you will find it. So I want to encourage you. So if you're that man watching this, or if you know a man that's your husband, that's your father, that's your brother, that's your son, it doesn't matter, your friend, your cousin, I want you to encourage that man, because I always say that he will never tell you he's struggling. That story I told, no one knew that until maybe 5 years ago. And right now I'm 50. Like 5 years ago, that's when I first told that story. So he won't tell you. So you have to ask questions. You have to be there to support and to love him. And sometimes it's not about just asking questions. I was talking to a couple of my podcasts, and I was asking, his wife, like, how did you support him through his mental health challenges? And what she said floored me, right? And it was just simple. She said, I didn't know exactly what he was going through. I knew that he was struggling. I knew he was suffering. He would come home, hop in the bathtub, and just lay there for hours. So instead of me going in there trying to question what's going on, I just got in the bathtub with him and lay in the bathtub with him for hours. That floored me, because sometimes that's all that we need, that he needs, is just someone to be there for him, to show him that he's safe. So with November being Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I just wanted to encourage you to keep pressing, to keep going, and to talk to that man and to make sure he's okay, because he is fighting demons that he will never tell anyone about. Be blessed.